What's up, family? It is Katie with Urban Finance. Today we're going to be talking about how to build generational wealth, and I will be doing a network updates. So we're going to be talking about especially in light of my investment strategy as it relates to stock like GameStop and AMC. Now, if you're new to the channel, I talk about everything related to financial literacy, investing, and building generational wealth. So if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. And if you want to get 2 free stock, check out the link to Webull in the description below. All right, let's jump in. So for those of you that would like to calculate your net worth, that is essentially taking everything you own, so your car, your home, and all of your assets like stocks, and then you subtract it from everything you own. So that may be student loan, mortgage, the car note, etc. So if you've been following this channel for a while, you know we do not currently have any debts except for our home. And so that's the one liability that we have. In the network update that I gave for January, I said I was being generous about the value of our car, primarily because I didn't recheck the Kelley Blue Book update from 2020. So in 2020, our cars were worth total $14,000. That is both of our cars, 2014 Chevy Cruze and a 2011 Honda Accord. I checked the Kelley Blue Book for today, and the car's total is about $9,000. And so that's the amount that I'll be going with for the year. And so you see how much that decreases, almost $5,000 for our 2 cars over the course of just 1 year. And so your car is truly one of the worst assets you can have in terms of the value of it. It is truly a depreciating asset and is worth less over time. And that's one reason why I wouldn't spend too much money on a car unless I am making some serious bank. Maybe one day when I'm a multi-millionaire, maybe I might buy a Tesla. And I'm not judging anyone who owns a Tesla and is not a millionaire. I just don't feel I'm there yet. And so our second asset is our home. In our home, we currently have about $75,000 of equity. I'll put the actual number up for you. And I pretty much said that same number of $75,000 last month as well. I'll put the actual numbers up for you to see. But if you own a home or have a mortgage, and especially if it's in the first few years of your mortgage, you will know that most of the money that you put out goes to interest. And so even though we pay over $2,000 towards our mortgage every month, at least 2/3 of it goes towards the interest. A very small portion of it goes towards the principal. Our total increase in equity for our mortgage over last month was only $700. And so that's just to give you an idea. If you own a home, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't own a home, you're going to learn. Our goal is to pay off our home within the next 7 years. That means that we'll be throwing a lot of money at the principal. One of the reasons why we're very passionate about eliminating the expense of our home is that it will significantly decrease our overall expenses and allow us to reach financial independence sooner. We fully understand that if we put all of the extra money that we'll be putting into our home to pay it off early into an investment account, that then our net worth and our net assets will probably grow a lot faster, but that's not our goal. That's why it's so important to know your goals when you're on this generational wealth building journey. In January, we had about $205,000 in liquid assets. Now we have $214,000 in liquid assets, which is a little over a $9,000 increase. Now, this was even up more than this. I think we probably lost another $4,000 or $5,000 because of everything that was happening with GameStop and AMC. And no, we didn't actually buy into those stocks because hedge funds may have had to pull money out of Fortune 500 companies to cover those short. The S&P 500 went down. But I am not crying over that. As someone that has 30 years until he actually retires, the market decreasing is actually a good thing for me. So between now and the next 10 years, every time this market takes a dip, especially like it did in March of 2020, those are amazing buying opportunities. And for people that have a lot of time for retirement, if you're in long-term investors, that should make you happy, not upset. And so, yes, we lost about $4,000 within a few days because of what happened with GameStop, but the ability to buy into the S&P 500 at lower prices over the course of the next 30 years will be amazing. I am someone that truly looks forward to every dip. Yes, overall, my net worth will be going down if the market takes significant hit. But in the long run, because I am able to pick up more shares of, let's say, Vanguard, S&P 500, or various ETFs that I have, in the long run, I will be very successful financially, even if sometimes I may go back a little in my net worth or even liquid assets because of a pullback in the market. So in January, I believe I said my total net worth was $294,000. In February, it is $298,000. Of course, we had that $5,000 decrease because of the depreciation in our car. And we also had a little decrease because of the GameStop. But overall, you see, even with the small pullback in the S&P 500, as a result of what happened with GameStop, which I see those as buying opportunities. So if the market goes up, I'm actually happy. If it goes down, I may be even a little happier. But even with that little pullback we had because of GameStop, still had a $9,000 increase overall in assets. And that's the beauty of the stock market. As you can see here, our total assets value is about $670,000. And then we have our left on our mortgage about $374,000. That leaves us with a net equity about $298,000, aka our net worth. There are multiple ways to invest in the stock market, but if you're serious about building generational wealth, long-term investing is the best strategy. And when you're investing for the long term, you really want to bet heavily on index funds and ETFs. You don't want a lot of your long-term investment strategy to be picked up with single stocks, because over the course of 10, 15, 20, 30 years, those things are very unpredictable. And so, yes, I am someone that buys single stocks as well. So I'm not saying you cannot buy single stocks or shouldn't buy single stocks. I am saying for the average person, at least 90% of your money should be in index funds and ETFs. And if you're younger, it may seem like it's growing really slowly, but as soon as you get to $100,000, $200,000, the power of compound interest on your side, it will literally look like magic. If you have $100,000, $200,000 in the stock market, you really don't want to be betting it on one or two companies. If you're younger, maybe under 30, that may still be doable. But if you're over 30 and have $300,000 in the market, you don't want that invested in one company. That is just too risky for you unless you are an expert in this. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can completely disregard that. But if you're someone that is relatively new to the market, new to picking single stock, you don't want to allot some of your money in single stocks. And I know it may seem like you're building wealth slow. The S&P 500 just lost about 3.5% over the last few days. Some people lost $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And I say that to say the opposite is also true. The market will probably recover that 3 to 4%, maybe even by the end of the week. And so the more money you have in the market, faster your money will be able to grow. And the way to keep your money in the market safely is by investing in index funds and ETFs. All right, that's my little tidbit for those that are interested in the long-term investment game. I have nothing against YOLOing in on a few stocks or even investing in a few stocks. If you're new to this game and you're interested in building long-term generational wealth, index funds and ETF is the best way to go. It is slow, it's steady, but it's a time-tested way of building wealth. Feel free to check out this video I did of how much money you need to retire. You'll see in that video one of the powers of compound interest. It's very hard to fathom unless you see it for yourself. All right, if you got any help from this video at all, go ahead and smash that like button for me, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. And like I always say, even in the midst of these crazy times, God bless you, and remember to live your best life.